Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm checking out the Ryan Fluff Bruce Signature Sterling from Music Man. So stay tuned. Alright, so when these guitars first dropped earlier this year, I was really intrigued because it's a very, kind of more retro looking style guitar, but it is definitely set up to be kind of a hard rock metal machine, especially with the hardtail bridge. And to be honest, I've never actually played, owned, or really sat down more than like a couple seconds with anything that Ernie Balls made besides their strings. So it was kind of serendipitous that zZounds got these in just in time for me to kind of look at them and go, can I get one of those? I really want to try one of those. And so I got one, and thanks to zZounds for that. And here it is, and this is the sparkle blue finish. This is the blue on black version. There's another version that I'll put up on the screen here in more of like a kind of like a muted red pinkish color. But I really like this color combo right here. But full disclosure, this thing is built like a freaking tank. And what I mean by that is it is heavy, it is thick, it just feels like a machine. It feels like a weapon. It is crazy how just robust this guitar really is. It makes me think that Ryan must have like monster hands to play this guitar because the neck profile on it is pretty thick. It's not like super baseball, but I mean it's probably in the realm of like a 50s Les Paul. Now, I know he's a big Les Paul fan, and I know he likes guitars with thicker necks, so it makes sense for him to have something with a much more like robust profile. But this guitar, I weighed it, this guitar weighs like 9.4 pounds. This guitar weighs as much as a Gibson Les Paul does. An unchambered, unweight relieved Les Paul. This thing is heavy. It actually reminds me a lot of the old like PV Strat style guitars, the Made in USA ones. I actually owned one when I was like 12 years old. I had like I think it was like a PV Predator, and it was also just a slab of a guitar. But this one actually has some nice contours. It has a very comfortable like fit. In fact, it feels solid. It's like anti-neck dive. If anything, I feel like the guitar wants to go towards the back. But it actually balances pretty well. I'm not even like, really doing anything to hold it up. I just have it on my leg. With that said, I don't think this is going to be for everybody. I don't think the super shredders out there are going to look at this and go, yeah, this is definitely my style. No, this is more like a rock riff. Like you want to play, maybe some complex chords, maybe just some real heavy riffage. Like this is what this is for. And with that said, it comes stock with a set of Ernie Ball beefy slinkies, which have a 54 gauge at the low string here, and it's tuned to C sharp, or drop C sharp. Stock. It comes stock like that. Now, to me, these strings are just a little bit heavy even for C sharp. Typically for C sharp, I use like an 11 to 50. These are like an 11 to 54 with some pretty heavy ones in between, especially this like 22 gauge non-wound string. It's pretty thick boy. I would tune this to C probably if I were going to use this as like a guitar in like a rotation. It would definitely, with these string sets, I would definitely go C maybe, or maybe even B, but that might be a little loose. But either way, it comes with these really thick strings, C sharp, and it's meant for doing chuggy stuff, or at least some sort of kind of rock hard stuff. So spec-wise, it's got the Niato body, which is surprising because I've had other guitars with the same wood that did not feel this heavy. It's got a very, what I would call a very like really hard shell like finish. Like when you feel this, you know that the clear coat on here is a thick clear coat. It's probably going to hold up to a lot of attrition, a lot of potential damage if you're one of those players who likes to take it out on the road and throw it around. The neck is a roasted maple single piece neck. Very nice grain pattern, very tight grain pattern on this, not super cheap looking at all. It has obviously the roasted maple fingerboard to go with it. I believe it has, these are stainless steel frets. I don't think they're extra jumbo. They're probably medium because these look much more in line with what you would get on like a Fender Telecaster. They don't seem like the more modern thing. I could probably look that up if I do my due diligence and look it up after the fact. I'll post some specs over here just so you guys can see, specifically what's on this. If I had to guess, this could be a Graph Tech or a bone nut, or it could be plastic. I'll let you know on that one too. But it has locking tuners, cool feature, and it has the thing that I kind of gravitated towards, which was a hardtail piece. And most Music Man guitars out there have a trem system. Like, I can't think of another model that doesn't have a trem. And so for me, this is kind of my wheelhouse. I don't do a lot of, whammity whams. I am squarely in the let's tune it and let's go kind of category here. Additionally, very simple control setup, single volume knob, single three-way switch, and then an interesting configuration here with the pickups. It is essentially two humbuckers, only the neck humbucker is a single coil size JB humbucker. Both are JBs. This is the Trembucker Space JB, and this is the JB Junior that you would put in like a Strat. Interesting kind of pairing. I don't know what it gets you beyond having just two humbuckers. Aesthetically, it kind of looks cool. And if you wanted to have like a single coil in the neck, you could swap it out with the traditional single coil and get that, and you wouldn't have to buy a new pickguard. I guess there's that. And that brings me to one of my kind of wish list items. Not really a complaint, not really a gripe, but I don't quite know why it doesn't have like a push-pull pot on here to split the coils, since it has that single coil aesthetic in the neck. I think to kick this guitar up a notch, putting just a coil split, for these pickups would definitely be something that I would have done personally. And I think if you do get this guitar, it's worth modifying to do that with, because it'll give you a little bit more tonality. All right, so I'm just on the green channel of this PV6505 Plus. This amp's not known for having a really great clean channel. In fact, it's got one of the worst ones that I own. But I'm just going to throw out some clean tones here with the two JB pickups, and you'll get a sense of what this does. So here's the bridge. I always forget how hot the JB pickup actually is, and I always forget about that until I plug it into an actual tube amp, and you hear how much that output pushes into the front, especially of a clean channel, and gives you just like a real natural kind of compression. In fact, I don't have any compressor on here, but the attack of the signal going in straight to the amp, it's just so hot. Now, if I go over to the neck pickup, I do think that the neck, this smaller JB style pickup, it doesn't quite have quite the mid-range, but it's also, I think, designed to be in the neck. And it does soften up that, that top end just a little bit. I would use that pickup for the clean tones. I think the bridge is just way too mid-forward and way too hot to do a lot of real good cleans. I think this neck pickup actually has a very nice, chimey, almost PAF style quality to it. not going to play Creed. Yeah, if you're going to do any kind of like, you know, cleanish, jazzy chords, whatever, yeah, definitely this neck pickup is where you want it. I'm going to go over to the red channel. All right, so I'm on the red channel. I'm back on the bridge pickup, and here's my standard, you know, high gain tone. Man, that's just such a growl. That's such a... The mids on the JB are just way different than some of the other PAF style pickups, hot rod PAF style pickups. I mean, it's just such a distinctive character. In fact, I'm going to turn up the highs just a tad. Presence is there, lows are there. I don't really want to turn up the mids, but yeah, it's to dial out that kind of little bit of a quacky forwardness. In this guitar, it actually is a bit darker than I would expect a JB to be. I guess maybe, I mean, this is just a really tank of a guitar, and it just has this kind of visceral growl going on, especially in that bridge pickup. If I turned on like an overdrive or something to try to, you know, tighten it up and be a little bit more modern, maybe like an SD1, mids there, highs, maybe turn the preamp down just a little bit. Let's see what I got. With these thick-ass strings, like, doing bends is kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, like this 22 gauge. It just takes, like, 3 fingers to just, like, grip it down. And with that overdrive kicked on and that resonance control turn up just a little bit, it brings it all into this more kind of modern metal territory. And the combination of the JB with like a SD1 red channel V30 loaded Mesa cab, this is like the tone that, you know, I chase all the time. Yeah, super cool. I really like that that setup. I really like the JB as a pickup. But that's not really what this is about. This is about this guitar. This guitar, this just massively beefy guitar. Like it is a battle axe. Like, I mean, figuratively and honestly, you could take this into battle and you could do some damage. 9.5 pounds almost. Freaking just massively just bare hand neck profile. Really nice 12-inch radius, you know, just a really comfortable feel. If you're the type of person who's like, I really like the sound of like a Strat, I really like the way Strats are kind of snappy, but I really like the heft of like a Les Paul. I think, you know, this Music Man style guitar is going to be what you want. I think if you want a kind of a no-nonsense version of that, the Ryan Fluff Bruce signature kind of gives you the more kind of modern, kind of rock metal thing going on in the package of this kind of more vintagey, kind of cool retro style. And I think the other thing to kind of praise about this guitar is its price point. It is under $1,000. It is only like a $949 guitar. And I'll link down to my affiliates and all that fun stuff. But you don't get a whole lot of guitars with this much going on in that price range anymore. This one's there. It's affordable. If by some chance you're able to play one in a store, pick it up, check it out. I don't think they're all quite this heavy. In fact, I was poking around Sweetwater and I saw that some are only in like the 7-pound range, but there are a couple in the 9-pound range. I think if you can find one that's heavy, I think it's better than not. Otherwise, you know, if you get a lighter one, it's still probably going to be a pretty good guitar. Go ahead and check out zZounds. Again, under $1,000. Probably not going to find another guitar that's quite as equipped in that price range with this style and everything going on. So that's my spiel for today. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll check you out later.